Hello and welcome to From Garden to Plate. I am Alice Erickson, the creator of this channel on YouTube. Throughout the content of this channel, I will be going over my tips and tricks that are proven to give the best yield in the garden, and I will be taking the bounty of the harvest, which is preserved items, into everyday cooking. I will occasionally do tutorials as well on how to preserve the food. If that sounds really interesting to you, please like and subscribe. In today's episode, I will be showing you how to transfer a hydroponic plant into soil. I will also be making a stir fry utilizing my lemon pepper hot sauce. The San Marzanos are ready here on the right. They're a lot bigger than the other ones, and the reason that occurred is because I think those took off most of the nutrients that was in the basin. So I could prevent that by trimming them down to try to be at the same level, but when they really took off and more than doubled, and if you cut more than a third off of a plant, it's going to shock it and you're going to have a lot of problems. You could possibly lose it. So therefore I just allowed it to do its thing. But the cool thing is, once I take those big guys out, the others will be like, yes, I got a lot more nutrients. All right, I can grow. So I'm gonna show you how to take a bare root, the hydroponic, and transfer it into soil in just a moment. As you can see here, I mainly have a bare root with the substrate that was provided by the manufacturer of the hydroponic machine. I am going to gently cut the plastic out and remove everything so it is bare root, so that way I can put it in the soil. In my master bath, I have this amazing big window, so it lets in a lot of natural light. So that's why I will get a very elongated tub and I will put all my plants in it. And my bathtub here is great for having access to water. It's ideal for when you have small plants, so that's why I do it in here. I have a few items in which I'd like to show you that I use. I have a cup here that I don't drink out of. I use it for craft projects. So I have the San Marzanos ready in water because you want to keep the roots wet as long as possible, because it's similar to when you have bare root plants that are perennials that are sent to your house. You soak them. It's a less of a shock if the roots are well hydrated. That's one of the other bonuses too about going from hydroponic to soil. I like to use, to make sure the transition of the plant isn't going to shock, a vitamin supplement. Even though I am just transplanting into soil and it has some fertilizer in it, this is something opposite of that. It is different nutrients and it just transitions the plant a little bit easier. It gives it things that it needs. There's no issue with too much, which is awesome. I take that and I transfer it into a little drip item. I will put it in my water. I only do about 3 drops and it's perfect. The soils I'll be using is a all-purpose container mix that's organic. And then I will be using a seed starter mix because it's light and fluffy and soft. It'll be gentle on those roots. I wanted to go over why I choose 2 different dirts in the combination to switch a hydroponic plant into regular soil. The seed starting soil is very soft and fluffy. The fertilizer is very light because it's meant for seedlings. By the time I get to the point of taking the hydroponic out, it's a good 6 inches or more. Almost 6 weeks worth of growth, which is quite big in a hydroponic system. And the fertilizer is a little bit more needed, so that's why I mix in the all-purpose, which is a little bit stronger, but I still go light at it so I don't shock the plant with too much. It's time to get serious. Got the gloves. I'm going to be transferring one of the hydroponics into soil, and I'll show you my mixture and how I do so. Like I said before, you want to have the small plant in a water, that way the roots stay hydrated. So I removed the plastic and I left the membrane that's there. That's okay to leave it there. It is a natural fiber and it will break down and just feed your soil. So why worry? I like to reuse nursery pots when I buy plants, but most importantly, please wash your pots with a gentle soap like dish soap. Rinse it really well, let it air dry. If you don't do that, you're gonna possibly transfer disease or other issues like pests from the previous plant into your new one. And hydroponics have not been exposed to any of that, so why do it? So I got my pot ready. Put a handful of the all-purpose mix. Big handful of the seedling soil. Mix it. The roots are very long here, so I'm just going to go ahead and place that in. Give another small pinch of the all-purpose. And then I will mostly fill up with the seedling soil. Gently pat down top of the soil. I'm going to get stakes here in a moment, some toothpicks or something like that in order to help this stand. I already have the water already filled with the vitamin nutrient, so I'm going to pour that over, keep everything nice and hydrated. Also sets the top of the soil. I'm dripping through, so perfect. I took a kebab skewer, that's wood. These are going to be my steaks for the tomatoes. So just take it in, stick it straight down. Use a twist tie. Very loosely tie the plant to the skewer. If you did it tight, that's going to pinch the stem, and we don't want that. And there you go, a finished product. I wanted to go over a few items from my recipe and let you know why I use them. And those items are, I like to use brown rice noodles. The reason? They are complex carbs, so therefore they're healthier and break down, and you don't get fat from them, plus gluten-free. In the water for the noodles, in order to flavor them, I like doing vegetable stock. The reason stock is better than broth, it's thicker and it is much more powerful in flavor. Himalayan sea salt is what I use. I like it better than table salt or regular sea salt because it has way more minerals and less sodium. And less sodium is better and minerals are healthy. The avocado oil has zero flavor and can cook on really high heat. And it's not going to inflame your body like the overused and processed conventional oils that you see. That's because the free radicals reign supreme in your body when you use those types of oils. So it's healthy, non-flavored, you can cook high, my kind of stuff. I'm going to start off cooking my recipe. And I go with the noodles first to get them done and get them out of the way. I'm going to pour the entire content of the vegetable stock in, and then I will place more water. Some people are like, why don't you just use regular water instead of putting the stock in? Is that a waste? I'm like, no. It's going to flavor it much better. It goes right in the noodle because they're very porous. Why not flavor it? It's a missed opportunity if you don't use it. Got my Himalayan sea salt. Put it in. Going to add in my noodles. Use one of these for me for pasta. Move everything around. Throughout, the manufacturer's recommendation is 10 to 12 minutes. I'm going to check it at 10, but I'm going to move it a lot so that way I don't have any sticky noodles. I just rinse the noodles in hot water. That's one of the other reasons I go slightly under the time, so that way you can rinse and get a lot of the starch off. I want the sauce to go in now. It helps the noodles not to stick as much. So I'll just pour a little bit. Use my tool. Move them around. And I don't have sticky noodles. Yeah. The wok is ready. I see those nice little tiny bit of smokes going. So I'm going to add my oil combo, which is a sesame and avocado, and add in my onions. Woks are amazing because they have those sides, and if you need to move something off to the side in order to cook it, not at as high temperature as the middle, it's pretty ideal. I'm going to let these onions cook for about 2 minutes, and then I'm going to add in my hard vegetables, which I have a watermelon radish. You need to see these. These are beautiful. And my sugar snap peas. These cook a lot faster woks than normal pans, so you gotta keep an eye on it. Adding in the radishes. Sugar snap peas. A little bit of my sauce so everything gets flavored. Ooh, hear that sizzle. I'm going to let this go for about 5 minutes. Oh, that sausage really is happening well to all of this. Beautiful. It's so colorful with those watermelon radishes. It's been about 5 minutes, so therefore it is time to add the next vegetable and a little bit more sauce. The reason I don't do all the vegetables at once is because I want variety of texture when I eat. It's all about the sensation, right? You don't want everything the same texture, that's boring. Add in the carrots, yeah. Which carrots have a nice little bit of sugar in them, so it adds as well. I'm going to pour in a little bit of my sauce. Give this a nice toss and let all of that break down. Oh, if only you could smell this. Look how beautiful all these colors are. It has been 5 minutes. The vegetables are cooking, so I'm going to take them off and place them in a bowl. The reason I do the vegetables first and not the protein is because it adds a nice flavor. If you did just the fish and then the vegetables, it kind of overpowers it. I'm going to get this wok nice and hot again, and I'm going to do my base scallops. It won't take long. So I gotta do my oil combo. There she goes, she's hot. This is gonna make a lot of noise. You want to sear the scallops to seal them so they're nice and hot right now. Like literally it's boiling inside of there. And then you cool it down to a medium because you want it to cook but not dry it out, and that would not be good. The scallops are right where I want them. I'm going to pour in the rest of my sauce that I made. Add the vegetables back in. Gonna stir this off for about 2 minutes and then I'm going to plate. I just plated and started doing the seasoning topper. Look how beautiful and colorful. I'm about to taste this and let you know how it came out. It's that time to taste it, yeah! Got my chopsticks ready. My hot sauce was utilized today from the Bounty of the Harvest. Lemon drop hot peppers and yuzu furikake seasoning. It's a pretty interesting combo. Highly suggest doing it. The textures of everything is different. The flavor through the noodles, through the sauce, to the release of the textures from the different veggies is quite amazing. I hope you can do this recipe just as well as I did and enjoy it yourself. Thank you very much for watching today.